20th, 2025, the Venezuelan capital awoke to the thunder of engines and the sight of armored steel rolling through its streets. The Altamira sector, an affluent district east of Caracas near the La Carlota air base, became the stage for a choreographed display of power as rows of army tanks paraded across wide boulevards. At the forefront of the spectacle stood Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino López, perched atop the lead tank, waving to the press with a steady, deliberate confidence. The display was not a routine exercise. It came at a time of heightened tension between Venezuela and the United States, with both governments exchanging accusations over sovereignty, sanctions, and military maneuvers near disputed waters in the Caribbean.
Family, let's not play games. Trinidad and Tobago is facing real threats right at our doorsteps. On one side, drug cartels poisoning the youths, flooding our communities. On the other, Venezuela announcing military operations creeping closer to our borders. The recent Trinidad Express report says Venezuela troops are moving closer, even setting up in the Gulf of Paria to combat TNT criminals. Okay, this article is taken from the Daily Express. Venezuela announces military buildup near Trinidad, written by Camari Rodriguez, posted September 21st, 2025. Venezuelan Minister of Defense Vladimir Padrino López announced earlier today that the Venezuelan military would be moving closer to Trinidad and Tobago to combat what he claimed are criminal acts occurring within the territory close to Gulf of Paria. Speaking about the Venezuelan military movement during a televised address to citizens on Sunday, Padrino, who previously warned the country of a potential Venezuelan response, named Trinidad and Tobago as a country from which a lot of smuggling and human trafficking occurs. He said that under the instructions of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, the military would be moving to a secure state, which includes the Paria Peninsula. The closest point between the secure state and Trinidad's northern coast is approximately 8 miles. The 60 units will occupy the territory of the 15 municipals of the state to scrutinize and to conduct reconnaissance and clear the area. It should be remembered that Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of fuel smuggling occurs, as well as smuggling of weapons and ammunition and a lot of human trafficking. Think about how small Trinidad is compared to Venezuela, and where would Trinidad be getting their ammunition from to be smuggling it to Venezuela. So as we go on, I'll read the last paragraph. All of the happenings along the axis between Mapuro, the tip of the Paria Peninsula, and Trinidad and Tobago. So they're going to be on that area. So we are going there to clear out any terrorist group or any drug trafficking organizations that are operating illegally in that territory, says Padrino. Okay. And just a couple of hours ago, The Guardian reported on the Operation Cumanagoto 200, where Venezuela's Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino López named arms smuggling and human trafficking between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela as the justification for this build-up. Could you imagine that? All of a sudden we are to blame and you guys want me to be neutral? Forget it. This is about survival. These aren't whispers. Venezuela's defense minister is talking about rocket launchers, grenades, and assault rifles allegedly being trafficked through our zone. Does not make sense. He's calling for military crackdown, saying they'll clear out traffickers and terrorists near our waters. That's our backyard. When troops move closer, when bases are set up near the Gulf of Paria, and when the narrative is that TNT criminals are a part of the problem, we cannot sit back quietly, people. Let's be clear. Nobody supports drug lords, human traffickers, or smugglers. But when a foreign power positions troops and says it's partly to target criminals from Trinidad and Tobago, that becomes a sovereignty issue. Who defines who's criminal? Tell me. Who ensures operations don't spill into our waters or affect our people? This vagueness is dangerous. This is why our partnership with the United States is not just politics, it's protection. They bring the intelligence, the patrol capabilities, and the deterrence factor we need. We don't have the luxury to handle cartels, smugglers, and now potential military pressure all on our own. Standing shoulder to shoulder with US sends a message. Yeah, and I wanted to send this message. Trinidad and Tobago will defend its sovereignty, its people, its future. Period. Now, some will say that Venezuela have all rights to defend itself. True, most definitely. Every nation does. But defending yourself doesn't give you the license to park troops near another country's maritime space and claim you're fighting their criminals, right? Get the point. Others say Trinidad should stay neutral, but neutrality in the face of cartels, smugglers, and military escalation is weakness, right? And weakness is exactly what the criminal networks feed on. Our children, our families, our communities pay the price if we stay silent. Here's where I stand. Venezuela's actions, from setting up near to the Gulf of Paria to launching Operation Cumanagoto 200, should be a wake-up call. Trinidad and Tobago must stay firm, depend on our alliance with the United States, and demand transparency and accountability in every move near our borders. This is about defending sovereignty, people, not playing politics here. Neutrality is no longer an option. We choose strength. We choose safety. We choose to stand. And remember, if God be for you, who could be against you? If one could chase 1,000, two could put 10,000 to flight. Amen.